the main entrance where you came in. It's called Geodesic Avenue. Here you find 13 statues to honor the scientists that participated in the first and second geodesic missions. The small cultural centers found to the right side of the main avenue have the nationalities that sponsored the geodesic missions, which were Spain, France, and Ecuador. Right now we can move to the north side of the monument.
Oh, you're videoing.
This is the north side of the monument. The main representation are the mountains called La Marca. Important to us because we have them represented in the coat of arms of the province of Pichincha. They are also known as Inti Parca, which means the place where the sun hides, because whenever a solstice occurs, the sun hides between the two mountains, exactly as we have them represented in the coat of arms. They are also part of the Inti Yang, which is the way of the sun. In the northwest, we have the presence of the Pululagua crater, which is one of the few craters that has an actual population living inside of it. We also have the mountain called Taita Rumi. Taita means father, Rumi means stone, and if you look at it with a bit of imagination, it looks like an elephant lying down. You see the nose, the head, and the body. Moving to the west side of the monument, we have the mountain called Casitawa. We know it's a solitaire because of the presence of just one tree on top of the mountain. And finally, in the south, we have the main populations. To my left hand, we have San Antonio de Pichincha. In front of us, Pusuqui, Pamaski, and the houses you see far from here, it's already the north of Quito. Usually when it's not cloudy, you can see the Cotopaxi volcano in this direction and the Cayambe volcano behind the Catequilla. And right now I'm going to give you a little information about the monuments in the geodesic missions. This is the second monument that's been here. The first one is exactly as this one. It's 10 meters high, and right now it's located in the town of Calacali, 15 minutes north from here. This is the second one. It's 30 meters high without the globe. In the globe, we have the representation of oceans, continents, and the metal structure surrounding it is the representation of the equatorial line. The importance between Ecuador and the equatorial line is that we are the only country that bears its name. When the geodesic missions came to this territory, they came to draw an imaginary line and prove that the shape of Earth was round. They didn't come here to prove which was the middle of the world. All this information, all this investigation was given 200 years later to an Ecuadorian geographer. His name was Luis Tufiño. He was a geodesic himself, graduated in France as well, and it was him who mathematically proved that the whole area was the middle of the world. He sent all this information back to the Royal Academy of Science in Paris. They confirmed all this information and established this place as the middle of the world. Luis Tufiño was also a civil engineer, and he was in charge to build an icon that would represent the middle of the world. So it was him who built the first monument, the one that is in Calacali right now. In 1979, the Council of Pichincha started with the idea of having a museum inside the monument, and that's the reason why they changed them. As I told you before, this was the first place to be established as the middle of the world, but nowadays, due to GPS and technology, an 8 seconds mistake has been discovered. So the actual middle of the world is 8 seconds to the north hemisphere. Each second represents 32 meters, so we're talking about 256 meters to the north hemisphere. There hasn't been another place established as the middle of the world. We have a lake in the middle of an avenue that says that's the real 0 point, but we have two other tourist places that are closer to the real point, which are the Inti Yang Museum and the Kitsato project in Cayambe. If you have a GPS, I think it's going to point 0 in Cayambe, 000. But it hasn't been established in other places. The three places are, and in all these three places are passed through the equatorial line. But we're not the 0 point. So right now, if you have any questions, feel free to ask, or if you wish to take some more pictures. And whenever you're ready to start with the museum, just let me know.
Is that Quito down into there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.